Good.
How old are you?
I'm 23.
All right. What do you got for me?
I'm just curious. I hear you saying high value man, high value woman. What do you consider that to be?
Well, it's a long definition, but in a nutshell, what do you consider a high value man? 6 points primarily. There's an income component, roughly $120,000 a year, $10,000 a month in Dallas, Houston, Austin, Atlanta dollars. If you live in a different region, like LA or New York, you have to adjust it. You have to make that money for at least 5 years. Approaching 3 will do it. High value men is also accepted by other high value men as being a part of their group, their society. They recognize as already a part or has the potential.
Now, you notice that a lot of these people love to claim they talk about high value man and have a lot of conversations about what Kevin Samuels defined as a high value man when the man literally repeated it numerous times. And what did he say? You have to be making $10,000 a month, over $100,000 a year for 5 years. There's a caveat there for at least 5 years. I'm sorry, and you have to also be approved and vetted and confirmed by other high value men. Now let's keep going.
High value man has a network of high value men and others. High value man has his entire life is LinkedIn level. It has visibility. So he doesn't just
LinkedIn visibility. That means that you have a professional LinkedIn account. That means that people can go look you up, see your rap sheet of your contributions to the world.
Go by the title of saying I'm an entrepreneur. It means something like I'm the head of cardiology at Hopkins. Something that people kind of know at a LinkedIn level. And lastly, this is no order of importance except for money. Money has to start there. If it doesn't exist, it can't be high value. Lastly, he's useful to others and the group. Now, this is by no means the only criteria, but it's the most universal.
So you think that having money is one of the number one factors to being a high value man?
Well, you can't be high value and homeless.
Well, I'm not saying homeless, but I mean, as a person that grew up with a father that is considered to be a high value man, that makes...
He may make a lot of money, that doesn't make him high value.
Exactly.
I just gave you 6 criteria, only one of which is money, and money has to be there. This is non-negotiable.
But what if they have all of those factors, but make $70,000 annually?
Then that means that they don't fit in the criteria. What's so hard to understand about that?
Why? Is that really a hill worth dying on?
I mean,
how about this? How about this? High value has to have a dollar component, and whether you value it or not, this 6-figure thing has been around since 1983, and it was given to us by women. You're 23. Learn a little bit more before you try to come in with your opinions. This has been around. Listen. This has been around since 1983. No romance without finance. You got to have a JLB if you want to be with me. Don't want no scrubs. Women have been saying they wanted the 3 6s. 6 feet, 6 figures, 6-pack for longer than you have been on the planet. And that is, listen.
Oh, I am
That
listening.
is what women decide that they value. That's what they seem they value in men. They value a man's resource and production. But there are also other things, because you can have a lot of money and not be valuable. So to ask the question.
That's why a lot of people, they just love to lead and stick with that money aspect. But the truth is, money alone doesn't make you high valuable or high value. It's about your contributions to society. You know what I mean? There has to be an external component to it. And that's why if you listen to him, Kevin Samuels, he would always say that entertainers don't fall into a different category because they might make 6 figures, but none of the other things apply to them, or they don't have to, you know what I mean? They don't get access to it the same way. So it's different rules. But I don't understand why people, what he's saying sounds, it sounds like almost high school level clear. I'm not saying that what he's saying is on a high school level, I'm saying that the comprehension needed to understand what he's saying, you only would have to be about high school level, because it's really simple. It's really simple what he's saying. I don't understand why people act like what he was saying was just such big rocket science. It's just crazy.
What about $70,000? It's a distinction without a difference.
And $70,000 is a lot of is a lot different than 100,000 or 120,000. So just so you know, the way taxes set up, 120,000 leaves you roughly a little under that after taxes, right? 70,000 automatically takes you back down, or you're only living at really 40K. So, I mean, just, it's adjustable. It depends on where your state is or whatever like that. But you gotta think about that. Money is a component. Now, that's not to now hear me well, because that's not to make light of it. If you're making 70K, especially if you're a black man, you're doing good. I hate to say it, but if you only have to take care of yourself, you're doing good. You're doing real good, because that's that's like, I don't know, that's like 15% of the population, I think. Maybe a little bit less, like maybe 10%, maybe 15%. I know that when you get into six figures as a black man, you are already like in the 5 to 1%. So, you know what I mean? Or at least, I don't know. They'll update black demographics soon. But yeah, it's just, the money thing is important, man. It's important. It's hard out here. If you're not making over a certain amount of money, you are constantly going to be living on struggle mode.
I have this question also.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, I mean, that image of a high value man making six figures was created in a capitalistic society.
Do you live in the West? Where do you live?
I live in Atlanta, but I grew up on the West Coast.
Well, welcome to the capitalistic world. We're in the capitalistic country.
Do you personally think that could change in the future?
Not in your lifetime.
Hope not.
I mean, okay. Well, let me ask you, ma'am. Did you grow up middle class, upper middle class? What?
Upper middle class.
Would you like to have grown up in poverty?
Upper middle class, that means that her dad was making over $100,000, just so you know.
No, I don't think anybody.
Well, would you rather switch it to go to live a life of a poor righteous teacher?
Personally, yes.
Well, that's your option. See, that's the thing. That's what money affords you. You grew up upper middle class, so you can sit back and think about philosophy of this and that. But when you're hungry and grew up in the projects like I did, where you didn't eat for days, we didn't have first world problems like many people.
No, I understand.
So understand something. You have only.
That is a big, really important thing that Kevin just said. When you look, when you look at a lot of these people, they sit there and they say, "Oh well, I don't have to live with money. Oh, I would give it all up. I'd give it all up. Well, give it all up then and struggle and see how life treats you. See how life treats you. That's the most insane thing I've ever heard. The most insane thing I've ever heard. Like, no, you wouldn't. You do not want to struggle. That's a pure entitlement statement.
Known life through your father and your family's production. You can choose to go out and live somewhere else, but I'm going to ask you a question. What system of government is better than capitalism?
Well, what would you say about Sweden or Norway, countries that are more of a socialist country?
They're socialist as far as their politics, but they're capitalistic as far as their finance.
Yes, but their emphasis is not on, it's rather on people rather than
right.
Like typically in our society.
When I say it works very well, for small, extremely small places. But show me where you have that with hundreds of millions of people.
Yeah, you are right.
No.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I mean, I get that there's some people. High value is
China with communism, but it ends up, you know what I mean? Communism is even worse. So, point proven.
something that I didn't just look at the United States. I took across any time, any continent, and I said, where are the men who are ranked higher than other men? What were synonymous? And these things always came out. Because there's always going to be a ranking structure.
What is your definition of?
But then I wonder, because one could argue that China's economy, or financially, they participate in capitalism just as much as anybody, just as much as any other country. So still, point proven.
A high value woman, then.
She's attractive and appealing. She has a comforting character. She's discerning and disciplined, liberating and loyal. She's enthusiastic and exuberant.
Ooh.
So none of that has to do with how much she makes, though.
Because your money matters not to us.
Not at all. Not at all. Women always love to throw how much money they making, their degrees, your achievements, and it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. Yeah, it don't mean nothing. Why, Jay? Why doesn't a woman's money mean anything? Because 9 times out of 10, she ain't sharing it with us. You know what I mean? She's not sharing it with us. So it don't mean anything. Golly, maybe 7 times out of 10, you're going to be keeping your money for your emergency escape fund, while he's sitting over there pouring everything he got into the household. And then if he don't got a prenup, then you're going to take everything, half of everything that he got, and not leave him nothing. You're going to destroy his lifestyle.
Yeah, I guess.
No, it doesn't. If so, then you should be able to show me women who make a lot of money who are below average looking with high value men. They're not. Women typically, a woman's currency is in her beauty, her womb, her cooperativeness, her submission. A man is in his resources, his ability to compete and produce.
Michelle Obama, Ruth Bader Ginsburg. These are all extremely...
Michelle Obama did not marry a bum. She married
he was in law school. I mean...
But okay, Michelle Obama did not marry a guy on the corner. Barack was in Columbia and Harvard, ma'am.
I understand that. I'm not saying like a bum, a homeless man. I'm saying someone that makes $31,000 to $70,000 a year.
Do you know about Barack Obama and why Michelle?
Yes, he was a law student.
You know exactly.
He was in law school. They were in law school. What are you talking about?
And he was the president of the Law Review, and he had political aspirations. That's why she got with him, because that was a political marriage. Ruth Bader Ginsburg, ma'am. Sure. My question is this: you live in observable reality. It seems like you have an issue with money.
Because, I mean, personally, growing up with money, it can ruin people.
Well, it
can ruin a relationship.
So,
here's what you can choose to do. You can choose to say, Mom and Dad, I don't want any inheritance, any insurance money. I want none of it. I'm going to give away all. Did you go to college?
Yes.
Did they pay for it?
No.
Okay. You can choose scholarship. Okay. You can choose to give back anything your parents have given you after 18 years old, and you can walk the earth like Kung Fu. You can go through life like Gandhi if you choose to, because you're an adult. You can make those choices. But here's one thing I will almost guarantee you. Very few of the people who grew up in your neighborhood will follow you. They like lights.
I agree with that.
Reading air and Whole Foods.
The reason why I'm questioning this is because
it's a first world problem, man. That's really what it is.
No, it's because, yeah, it is. I grew up, my family didn't grow up with money. As I grew up, that's when we got more money.
What do you mean your family didn't grow up with money?
My dad, he made his own money from as soon as we were all born. Like he didn't have anything, basically. That's why.
And did he make? Okay, so let me ask you. He made his money for his family because he didn't grow up with it.
Yeah, he grew up with nothing. And then
Okay,
my mom
but
married him when he had nothing.
But when he had nothing, he made it, then he had a family. Did he make you guys live like he lived prior to the money?
No, because in
Exactly.
this capitalistic
Exactly.
society,
But why didn't he do that?
because he's been inundated by the
No.
idea of
Listen
capitalism.
what I'm asking.
You said, why did he do
Your
that
father
for
grew
his
up with
family?
nothing. Your father grew up with nothing, right? And then he married your mother, and she married him when he had nothing. Yet he made his money and provided for his family more than he had growing up. If nothing created your father, why didn't he give you and your siblings nothing to create somebody like him?
Because he is a man that was inundated by a capitalistic society.
Oh
Because
my
he
God.
wanted.
Get the French toast out of here, man. What? Are you serious? Because he was a man that was influenced or whatever, in whatever word she just used. I'm sorry, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, apparently. But what? Yeah. She just said that this man was influenced by, and yes, I understand what the word means. She just said that he was influenced, and that's the reason why he gave them everything. Not because he wanted to give his children something that he didn't experience. Not because he experienced them. It's not. This is the problem with a lot of these new age. Like, how old was she? She said she was 23. This is the problem. We're trying to work hard and provide generational wealth and provide a better living situation, because you got these entitled brats who sit here and say, oh, well, I think we'd be better if we were broke. Oh, I think we'd be better without the money. This man probably worked himself to the bone to try to give this entitled little brat the right to get up and say that she wishes she could throw away everything that he's worked for. Man, you get this clown out of here, man. Go away.